There's nothing better than showing up to your next big event in a new suit or tuxedo. Sam's Men's Suits and Tuxedo Shop on Clovis Avenue, just south of Old Town Clovis, has provided a wide selection of custom-tailored fine suits and accessories for over 25 years. Right now, get 2 suits, 2 shirts, 2 ties, and a pair of shoes for only $199. Act now and get a 3rd suit for only $50 more. Stop by or call 559-298-6063 to schedule your fitting today at Sam's Men's Suits and Tuxedo Shop.
Hi, I'm John Malos. Welcome to this special taped edition of Connect with Me on the showroom floor at Ventura TV on this day. No phone calls, but today a special business program and a very nifty invention that will help those who have special needs. We're back with our program. By the way, if you want to leave a message, you can still call in at 436-ME-TV option 11, and we should not have that call-in live show because it's not a live program. Let's do it again.
There's nothing better than showing up to your next big event in a new suit or tuxedo. Sam's Men's Suits and Tuxedo Shop on Clovis Avenue, just south of Old Town Clovis, has provided a wide selection of custom-tailored fine suits and accessories for over 25 years. Right now, get 2 suits, 2 shirts, 2 ties, and a pair of shoes for only $199. Act now and get a 3rd suit for only $50 more. Stop by or call 559-298-6063 to schedule your fitting today at Sam's Men's Suits and Tuxedo Shop.
Hi, I'm John Malos. Welcome to this special taped edition of Connect with Me on the showroom floor at Ventura TV on this Tuesday. Hey, listen, it's going to be a great program because the focus will be on business and a nifty invention. Something that will help those who have special needs. You can still call in at 436-ME-TV option 11 and leave a message if you have a comment. We're back with our program in just a moment. Back here on the program, it's a special taped edition of Connect with Me on the showroom floor at Ventura TV. Sorry, no phone calls on this day, although you can still call in at 436-ME-TV option 11 and leave that nifty little message there if you want to leave a comment about our product and program today. Of course, you're watching us on Comcast, channel 375. As usual, if you have over-the-air broadcast, it's 13.1 and 43.6. I'm very excited about this show today because you know, every once in a while, somebody comes along and invents something so unique and so useful, most of us sit back and say, why didn't I think of that? Why? I mean, I'm saying that to myself right now. What a nifty invention. That is certainly the case today. One man didn't think about it. He actually did it. I want to put his picture up on the screen, show you exactly what today's program is all about and I'm talking about. His name is Curtis Austin, an inventor who since has passed away. He was disabled, but he invented something that would help others who might be bound to a wheelchair, much like he was. He was so determined. He never lived to see his project all the way through. Nonetheless, the portable tabletop extension is now on the market, and people are buying it by the droves and helping thousands who have special needs.
Does your wheelchair make it difficult to reach the dining table at restaurants or at home? The portable tabletop extension from Quality of Life Products is the answer. This sturdy, American-made product extends over your lap so you can enjoy your meal without spilling food on yourself. It comes with a lifetime warranty and sells for just $49.95. And the plate rotator helps anyone with limited hand mobility to spin their plate to the item they want to eat. Just $19.95. You can get both for just $59.95 plus shipping. Go to our website, yqol.biz, or call 460-3090.
And live in our studio is Anthony Morrison, who is now marketing the portable tabletop extension. Morrison was a longtime friend of Curtis Austin. He made his friend a promise before he passed away that he would tell us that he would actually market this, and he is here to tell us that story and much more. Again, this is a tape program here on Connect With Me on MeTV Fresno this Tuesday morning. You're watching Connect With Me on MeTV Fresno. Back in just a moment.
There's nothing better than showing up to your next big event in a new suit or tuxedo. Sam's Men's Suits and Tuxedo Shop on Clovis Avenue, just south of Old Town Clovis, has provided a wide selection of custom-tailored fine suits and accessories for over 25 years. Right now, get 2 suits, 2 shirts, 2 ties, and a pair of shoes for only $199. Act now and get a third suit for only $50 more. Stop by or call 559-298-6063 to schedule your fitting today at Sam's Men's Suits and Tuxedo Shop.
And away we go.
Here's the place that makes you smile. Stick around and stay a while. We're the home of great TV. That's memorable. That's me.
Follow me, sir.
Call them classics, call them the best. Call them favorites, be our guest. Every day there's more to come. Watch and see, there's only one. Me TV.
All you have to do is watch me.
Are you kidding me?
Follow me.
That's memorable. That's me.
That's me.
Me TV.
Back here on the program, and today's the focus is on business and an invention that I wish I guess I would have thought of, but we say this with so many inventions that come on the market. Say, oh wow, look at that. I wish, why didn't I think of that? I had nothing to do yesterday or the day before but sit back and think, why didn't I think of that? Would have made me a millionaire. Well, why didn't we win the lottery, too? I mean, we could throw that in as well. Anthony Morrison is here, and you're not the inventor of this tabletop extension, of course, for those with special needs, but certainly you are marketing it, you're selling it, and congratulations on your success so far.
Well, thank you. Well, one key point is I do have the patent on it.
Yeah.
So even though I didn't invent it, and because of the circumstances with my friend and so forth, Curtis, I was able to pick up where he kind of left off, and fortunately, I was able to get the patent on it. So now it's on the market.
How did you get the patent? Was that difficult?
Believe it or not, not really, because I went through an attorney. An attorney basically handled everything for me.
But you have to jump through a bunch of hoops to get it?
There are a lot of hoops. You have to there's a patent search, and I mean, there's all kinds of things that are regulatory, and that before the patent application is even accepted. Takes a couple of years, but eventually you'll get a 10-digit patent number.
Yeah, and did you have to research to make sure that no other product is similar to this or like it?
Well, because I had an attorney, the attorney basically did all of that for me.
And what if there was something on the market that was something similar? Then what?
Then I'd be out of luck. I wouldn't be able to get a patent. It's that simple.
Tell us in detail why you think the patent is important for this product.
To be bone honest with you, because it's so simple, and I think, and that's also the reason that I won't have to worry about a whole lot of patent infringement, because there's only one way to make this product. It's basically it's made with C-clamps with posts on them, and it's a tray. And because it's so simple, it's only going to work one way. You can't complicate it enough to where there would be an intrinsic change, so that someone else would go get another patent on it.
Yeah. But can someone, because you have a patent, does that mean that someone can't make something or build something that's similar?
Who's to say? I mean, until a person finds out about someone else making a product that's similar, they're basically at the mercy of marketing. Let's say someone on the East Coast was marketing something similar. Unless I saw it for myself, I couldn't pursue any action against that individual.
Yeah, that's amazing. But let me ask you another question about Curtis Austin. Let's put his picture up on the screen. Who was this guy?
Curtis was a friend that I met in junior high school, back when they had junior high school as opposed to middle school. And we met at Fort Miller, and we just kind of gravitated towards each other. We were friends through junior high school, and afterwards. And we just stayed friends for over 35 years.
Why was he bound to a wheelchair?
He had muscular dystrophy from birth.
Okay. So
And
was he
so-
in a wheelchair for most of his life, or?
As far as I know, for all of his life. He was very proud to be one of Jerry's kids, and every time the Jerry Lewis Telethon came to Fresno, or every year the Jerry Lewis Telethon came, he was always on the show at the Channel 30 studios, and he was always just very proud to be one of Jerry's kids.
Right. And so tell us how this idea was born in his mind.
Well, it wasn't actually his mind; it was more his father's mind. His father was someone that liked working with things, working with wood and what have you, and he wanted to find a way for Kurt to be able to eat at the dinner table with the family, and so he worked on just gadgets and what have you, and he finally came up with something that might work. So with a combination of wood and clamps and screws and other various parts, he was able to find or create something that could attach to the table, and so that Kurt could pull up to the table and enjoy dinner with the family, or just meals with the family.
So he basically invented this. His father basically invented it. It really wasn't Kurt himself, but his father. But maybe he was the kind of the co-inventor, but he was trying to help his own son. Is the bottom line?
Yes, sir. Exactly.
And was he able to do that?
Well, he came up with the essence of it, and I've seen it. It's actually a piece of wood, and it's got screws and bolts and this and that. I wish we could have saved it for posterity's sake, but we weren't able to. But after he passed away, Kurt saw what he'd done for him, and he just kept working on it and got it developed to the point to where it could be something that might be marketable to the public. Originally, he was thinking that it could be marketed to the restaurant industry because of the ADA regulations and so forth.
What about the ADA regulations in the restaurants?
Well, the ADA regulations basically state that tables should be a certain height and depth and so forth to give the individual in a wheelchair, to give them the ability to sit at any table and have a meal.
This is basically the ADA guidelines right here. The ADA sets out accessibility guidelines for buildings and facilities, like restaurants, I would assume, to ensure that they are readily accessible and usable by people with disabilities. Under the ADA guidelines, no place of public accommodation shall discriminate against an individual on the basis of such individual's disability with regard to the full and equal employment or enjoyment of those goods, which means enjoyment of eating a decent meal.
Having a decent meal at a nice place.
Having a nice drink, maybe eating dessert, and goods, services, facilities, privileges, advantages, and accommodations at that place of public accommodation. And I notice now, too, because when I'm a big Giants fan. I'll go to the Giants games or A's games. Those stadiums now across the country have to be ADA accessible. It's been like that for a long time, but I do see people at the ball game, whether it's Giants or A's, they're sitting in wheelchairs in specially designed areas.
Correct.
For those
Correct.
with special needs, and it's good to see that. But not every business complies. Am I right?
Absolutely.
And what can people do about it, since you're pretty much in tune with this subject here? What can people do if they see a business or a public place that does not accommodate those that maybe need special help?
Well, the law is on the side of the individual.
Right.
However, that's unfortunately created a lot of frivolous lawsuits. So there are some folks that actually make a business out of going to restaurants and what have you, and just looking through to find out what
It's a
things
way of
are
earning
not.
money for them, huh?
And they just, hundreds of thousands of dollars. It's amazing. I believe there's a restaurant that's down in Hanford that's been sued 3 times, for various things. So
Let's not mention the restaurant, because I don't want to get in
I'm not
trouble
going to
here.
say. I'm not going to say that.
All
but
right.
they'll just pick someone out, or they may do a sweep and go through a city, and just go through and find little minor violations of ADA and threaten to sue the owner, and the owner will settle with them out of court.
I'm not in favor of frivolous lawsuits, but at the same time, businesses should be complying with the law.
Correct. I agree.
So
And,
where's the happy medium?
Well, a lot of it is on the part of the restaurant owner. He has to take onus for it, and to prevent himself, or to just basically to prevent himself from being sued. There aren't a whole lot of things that a person has to do or a company has to do, but just look up the ADA guidelines and know what you're dealing with, and just go fix the things that you have to fix.
Yeah, and of course with the holidays coming up, as you know, during the holiday season, whether it's Thanksgiving, whether it's Christmas, Easter, Hanukkah, whatever holiday you can pick, people go out and eat.
They go out and eat.
They go out and eat, and they go out to the stores and they shop. And so many of those places, all of those places should be ADA compliant.
And unfortunately, when you go into a restaurant, there'll probably be a table with an ADA symbol on it indicating that's where that individual in the wheelchair can sit. And that's completely wrong.
Yeah.
The law simply states that the individual in the wheelchair should be able to sit anywhere that they want, just like anyone else does.
But at the same time, got to use a little common sense. Restaurants are going to have booths.
Correct.
You can't put a person who is in a wheelchair at a booth unless he comes out of the wheelchair, he or she comes out of the wheelchair and sits in that booth. And sometimes that's a difficult task for that person to be able to. It's a chore for that person to get out of the wheelchair into a booth. Sometimes it takes 2 or 3 people to lift.
It's not even worth it to them to even try it.
It may or may not be worth it, but you never know. It depends on the individual.
Right.
But
just to a table. If you just wanted to sit at a table.
Well, there should be more than one ADA table.
Correct.
I would assume.
Correct.
Depending on how big the restaurant is.
Correct.
I don't know.
Well, and that's what the origination of the portable tabletop extension was about, was to give the individual access to sit anywhere that they wanted at any table, let's say,
right.
and also to make the restaurant, or so that the restaurant could have it available for anyone to sit anywhere they wanted.
Right. Hey, listen, I got to take a break here, but Sam's Suits and Tuxedos over in Clovis is our sponsor today, and we're talking a little bit about the American Disabilities Act, and those of you watching at home probably wondering, well, what product are they talking about? What is it? I haven't seen it. Well, you saw it just briefly in the monologue. We have a version of it here in the studio, and we're going to show that to you. We'll show you people using the product. We'll tell you where you can purchase it. It is, I call it a nifty invention, something that any one of us could have thought of, but you know what? We didn't. And that's why we're sitting here today talking about it. No phone calls on this day. It's a special tape program of Connect with Me, although you can call in and leave a message or a comment at 436-ME-TV, option 11. Back in a moment.
When you like Ventura TV Appliance on Facebook, it's nice. But when you love the Whirlpool appliances we deliver, it's even better. Our website is cool, and it's a good place to start. But you really should touch the merchandise before you buy. Touch the new Whirlpool Ice Collection. It offers a modern style made to create an inspiring kitchen experience. Save big on this Whirlpool Black Ice or White Ice kitchen. Come in to Ventura TV Appliance and touch the merchandise today.
Nothing better than showing up to your next big event in a new suit or tuxedo. Sam's Men's Suits and Tuxedo Shop on Clovis Avenue, just south of Old Town Clovis, has provided a wide selection of custom-tailored fine suits and accessories for over 25 years. Right now, get 2 suits, 2 shirts, 2 ties, and a pair of shoes for only $199. Act now and get a 3rd suit for only $50 more. Stop by or call 559-298-6063 to schedule your fitting today at Sam's Men's Suits and Tuxedo Shop.
Unscramble.
Sing, honey, sing.
Call them classics, call them the best. Call them favorites, be our guest. Every day there's more to come. Watch and see, there's only one. Me TV.
Try me. Me.
That's memorable, that's me.
That's me.
Me, you gotta see. That's memorable, that's me. Me, TV.
Frigidaire. We introduced the first home freezer, the first pulsator agitator washer, and now we introduce the Frigidaire Orbit Clean dishwasher, designed with a unique wash arm that gives you 4 times more water coverage for a consistently better clean. Frigidaire, over 90 years of legendary innovation.
See the full line of Frigidaire appliances at Ventura TV Electronics and Appliances.
Explore strange new worlds on MeTV. Seek out new life.
I've seen old photographs of this period. Let's get out of here.
and new civilizations. Boldly go to Mayberry and the Andy Griffith Show.
Weeknights at 8 on MeTV Fresno.
Back here on the program, Connect with Me, a special taped edition with Anthony Morrison, who is marketing the product. And the product is, of course, the portable tabletop extension. It is for those who have special needs. But you know what, my friends? You don't have to have special needs to use it. Anybody can use this thing. I can purchase one of these and take it home and use it as a tabletop extension if you want to use it for any number of reasons. This thing was built and made, and now it's being marketed for those with special needs, and it does help them to a certain extent when they go into a restaurant and you pull up in a wheelchair and you have that gap between the table and the person. Well, this tabletop extension covers that gap. So now that table is up against the person. They can eat their meal, they can eat their dessert, have their drink, just like anyone else. So Anthony, hold that up high, just a little bit higher. You can see that right there. Okay, take the logo down if you would, Carrie, just for a moment so we can see that. You're holding what? These are the extensions, or the clamps on the bottom there.
Clamp onto the table.
Yeah, not too high, not too high.
Okay.
There you go, right there. Those are the clamps
Those
that clamp onto the table.
And then so it connects like so, so that it's right at the, just above the mid range of the individual, just above the arms of the wheelchair, but exactly over their lap, so that their plate sits right here, and so that they don't have to worry about spilling. So if you go out to a nice restaurant, have dressed up nice, and the last thing you want to do is spill something on your nice outfit. So this way, there's no chance. And for those that have some other limited mobility with their hands or their arms, this piece is called the plate rotator, and you can set your plate on top of it, and it just kind of works as a lazy Susan, and you can turn your plate to the item of food that you want to eat. That's often displayed in the commercial, but this is basically it. This is basically it.
So that's it. So that is like a lazy Susan. It just turns and spins.
It has rubber feet so that the plate doesn't slip off, and it just turns and you can eat your meal, eat the item you want.
Yeah, that's really nice. And the tabletop is made. Everything is made of plastic, right?
Correct, or actually polypropylene.
Okay, which is similar to
plastic, but just called it plastic.
Yeah, that's right. So how many of these would you suspect at this point that you've sold?
We're into, I would say, the mid thousands now. So we would say about 4,500 to 5,000 now.
4,400 to 5,000 sold.
So since May.
Where are they manufactured?
Here in Fresno, believe it or not. They're manufactured in Fresno.
Where in Fresno?
Out on a company that's a plastics company out on West Shaw.
Okay.
Yeah. Do you want the name? I'd be happy to.
Sure.
So, no, Jet Mold. Jet Mold. So hopefully this gets more business from Mr. Jess Sanchez. But Jet Mold is the actual manufacturer. He's got the machines and all the equipment, and he produces them for us. From there, they're shipped over to the ARC. The ARC handles all of the assembly and
ARC, and explain what ARC is. I know because I've had them on the show, but go ahead and explain.
Well, the ARC is there's several versions of the ARC, but I utilize the ARC Production Center, and they take the pieces.
What is ARC?
It's an agency for folks that have disabilities or that are special needs.
And it's like a daycare center for those people, kind of.
In some ways, but in the facility that I use,
educational center.
Yes, it's all of those things.
Yeah.
But in the facility that I use, they are a production center.
Right.
So they set up line production, and or assembly line production, and they produce, they assemble it and package it.
So that's what they do, but it's also an educational center for those that have disabilities. We've had the ARC people on here, I think once or twice. Should have them back on soon, I would imagine. But
they do great work.
Yeah,
they do absolutely great work.
But they package this item at the ARC.
At the ARC.
That's amazing. That's over just off of Shaw.
No, actually, the one that I utilize is on Clovis Avenue and Shields.
They've got several locations. But the one I
yes.
was thinking of was off of Shaw and Marty. But, okay, so this cost, if anyone is interested in purchasing, is $69. Talk about insurance coverage for this.
Well, lately we've been selling the majority of them through insurance. So it's covered by insurance as an assisted daily living device. So anyone that has whatever their state-sponsored, federal-funded insurance is, can get this product. That we have to say little or no cost, but usually it's absolutely free.
Now, is that private insurance that will cover that? Or?
We haven't had many uses or many attempts with private insurance other than Medicare. So Medicare, like I said, whatever your state-sponsored, Medicaid-funded insurance is. I can't say the name, but in California, you know what it is.
Right, and so it's Medi-Cal at this point.
Correct.
For people that live under the poverty line, they're using Medi-Cal, and for those that are using what we call Obamacare in this country, the exchange.
Correct.
Those people are purchasing this item through that exchange.
Well, they're able to get it for free.
Okay.
Through the exchange. There's no purchase involved. All they have to do is get a prescription from their doctor for an ADL or assisted daily living device, and take that to a durable medical equipment provider, and then from there, once it has to get a pre-authorization, and then once it's been pre-authorized, they can go pick it up, or have it shipped or delivered to them.
Right. So the doctor writes a prescription, and they pretty much send that to the insurance company.
Correct.
And then it gets approved. And Medicare does pick this up. So if you're over the age of 65 and you do qualify for Medicare, and take that shot again. Hold that up, Anthony. I just want people to see that. This is the portable tabletop extension. You can see the clamps down below. They clamp up against a table at any restaurant. I think these restaurant tables are pretty much they're pretty much they're all about the same size.
Yeah.
So it's all kind of a standard size.
Correct.
And then you clamp that on, and you fill the gap between the person in the wheelchair and the table.
Just like so.
Yeah. All right, we're talking with Anthony Morrison here, and he's not the inventor of this, but he certainly has kept his promise to his friend Curtis Austin. He is marketing it, and he is selling it. And we'll tell you about Fresno County Office of Education. They're interested in this product too, and they're buying it. No phone calls on this day. It's a special program, 436-ME-TV option 11, if you want to leave a message or a comment. Our program today is sponsored by Sam's Suits and Tuxedos out of Clovis. Back in a moment.
Revin is now on KVHF channel 4.4.
There's nothing better than showing up to your next big event in a new suit or tuxedo. Sam's Men's Suits and Tuxedo Shop on Clovis Avenue, just south of Old Town Clovis, has provided a wide selection of custom-tailored fine suits and accessories for over 25 years. Right now, get 2 suits, 2 shirts, 2 ties, and a pair of shoes for only $199. Act now and get a 3rd suit for only $50 more. Stop by or call 559-298-6063 to schedule your fitting today at Sam's Men's Suits and Tuxedo Shop.
Back here on the program with our friend Anthony Morrison, and like I said, he's not the inventor, but don't you wish you had invented this? And I know your friend did, but still, hey, you're making, I mean, on the dollar, how much would you say that you make on a product like this? I mean, it costs $69, so maybe you're making $10 a shot.
Well, I mean, actually, the manufacturing cost comes to about $25-30.
Yeah, so you're making just a little bit more than that. But and how is the insurance? How are the insurance companies? How have they been? Have they paid on time?
Well, I'm not actually the biller, so I really couldn't tell you. There's a preferred.
What are you hearing?
Well, I'm hearing that Medicare, they're running about 30, 45 days, which is typical to anyone else. Because if you sold it to a business,
and Medi-Cal can run behind too.
They can, but it's just a matter of timing, I suppose. That how things get processed.
It's all that paperwork, Anthony. But
most of it's online now, so maybe that's what makes things move a little faster.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure, but and so if someone wants to purchase this item, I'm going to give a phone number. Can I give that phone number out right there?
Yes,
that
sir.
One right there. Okay. Get a pen, piece of paper. It is, can't see without my glasses here, 919-324-6506. That is the telephone number, 919-324-6506. And what number is that? What number did I just give out?
That is actually a call center where they will call, get there, and the call center representative will take down their information. Basically, hopefully as much information as they can, and then forward that information over to our preferred provider, who will make the contact.
But they're going to say you need a prescription if you want insurance.
They'll give them the information. Yes, sir, absolutely. And also when the preferred provider calls them back, they will give them exact instructions on how to go about getting it set up so they can get the insurance to pay for it.
All right. Again, that telephone number is 919. That's the area code 324-6506. And by the way, a new website is coming up that I don't want to date this program because it is a tape program, but you have a new website that's up. But let's talk a little bit about Fresno County Office of Education, and they are now purchasing this item. And how did that come about?
On the way back from Chicago at the National Restaurant Association, we met one of the upper management folks from the Fresno County Office of Education. Then we rode the plane with them.
Who would that person be?
That person, I'm not going to say the name, but I'll say.
You have to tell us the name now.
The Deputy Superintendent of Fresno County Office of Education.
You can't keep us in the dark now. I mean, we got to know. We got to know names.
I haven't gotten her permission to say, so I don't know. So all I can say is the title.
So what happened? You sat next to this person?
No, our plane got delayed, and everyone was sitting there just waiting, and this lady asked us to excuse her as she went by trying to get to the power up her phone, and we started talking, and as it turns out, during the conversation, I just asked, I said, "Ma'am, what do you do?" And she says, "I'm the Deputy Superintendent of Fresno County Office of Education." And I said, "You're just the person I want to meet." And I gave her a card, and I gave her one of our marketing pieces, and she promised that she would call me back in a couple of weeks. In less than a couple of weeks, she called back. She forwarded the information to her director of special education. Lady called up and said set up a meeting with me, and I went in. We had a meeting, and it was wonderful. Everything went perfect. Now, the interesting thing is, had I tried to walk in the front door, to most organizations, especially something of that nature, like a school district or something big like that, it would be very, very difficult because of the gatekeepers. So I'm just really fortunate and happy that the lady that I met was open to new ideas, and she was so willing to work with me. But we were able to show her the product, and she just thought it was amazing, and she just knew that the children that were within the Fresno County Office of Education's coverage would be able to benefit from it. And that's how we got there.
Well, somebody up above was watching over you.
You absolutely know it.
I mean,
you better bet.
Timing is everything, as you well know.
You know it.
In your meeting at the Fresno County Office of Education, what did this person want to know about this product? Did you bring the product with you?
I did. I let them do a demonstration for themselves, actually.
Okay.
I just said, I just held the. It comes in a storage bag, and I held the bag up, and I said, "Here you are. I let you do it yourself," rather than. So it's not so much of a sales call. I just let them. They took it out the bag, assembled it. Took them a few seconds to assemble it. They attached it to the table and said, "I think there's some children that are in our district or unified system that will be able to benefit from this tremendously." And from there, unfortunately, the timing was bad in that case because it wasn't during school, so we had to wait until school started before we could actually complete the transaction.
So tell me how sales are going with Fresno County Office of Education.
Well, the way it works is they have 4 centers that are primarily for the children with special needs, but there are also classrooms in individual schools as well. So I just delivered to those 4 centers, who then dispersed them out to the school districts, to the actual schools themselves. So probably this month is my follow-up. So I'll follow up with them, and then each school will make their own purchase order to order as many as they need. So the timing is just perfect.
Right. So how many do you venture to say that would be sold over there?
It depends. Depends on the situation for that given child. But we're expecting somewhere. It'll probably be about 300 to 400.
Yeah. And what about the production? The timing of the production, is that going to be an issue or no?
The jet mold can make 15,000 of these a month.
Really?
Yeah.
So that's not even an issue.
It's not an issue for them or anyone else.
Okay, so this has been a useful device for many people, not only in schools, but how about the home health care, like assisted living, nursing facilities? Have you tried those outlets?
We are, once we realized how the insurance side of it was going to work, that's pretty much been our focus. So at this point, the majority of the sales, which you mentioned about the new website, there's actually going to be a new commercial coming out as well.
Okay.
That will speak specifically to the fact that it's available at little or no cost through insurance.
All right, but you are you marketing to these places, like nursing homes?
Absolutely. Well, actually,
assisted living, physical therapists, veterans who are maybe disabled?
Yes, well, because veterans are in a similar situation, we are working towards being able to work with the VA medical centers themselves and hopefully create an arrangement with the prosthetics department so that they can provide it to veterans that need it.
Yeah, we have a series of photos, too, of some people actually using the product at a restaurant or at home or wherever. We can go through some of those photos now. There's some people at a restaurant, I believe.
Yeah, that's at a restaurant.
Yeah, that's at a restaurant. So you can use these at a restaurant, but you don't have to use it specifically for eating. That's the point. You can use it for, drinking. You can use it to assist you in maybe dressing. You can put some items on there. There's our friend Ed Armbrister. You can use it for reading and writing, just around the house. Use it if you have any hobbies that you want to. You can use that portable tabletop extension for those kinds of things, to store some items on, to help you and assist you in any way. You don't have to be a special needs person, right?
Not at all. And that's what qualified it as an aid to daily living. So that's what made it, coverable by the insurance industry. But people with just your children come home from school, you don't want them writing on the coffee table doing their homework or whatever, or they have crayons. You can attach it to your coffee table and let the kids have a place where they can draw. You don't have to worry about them writing on your table.
There's a gentleman sitting right there in a wheelchair. This is a perfect photo. Keep that up there for a moment, because it shows specifically the gap we're talking about. That's a restaurant table.
That's a restaurant table.
Now, imagine just for a moment if that portable tabletop extension was not there, the gap between the table and that gentleman sitting there. That covers the gap. And look at his drink where it's sitting.
And the gap usually runs probably 12 to 15 inches. So
that's a big gap.
That's a gap. So
imagine if that gentleman right there was wearing a suit and tie.
And he just, I don't think I can go 15 inches with a spoon of soup or whatever without dropping it. So imagine someone in a different circumstance.
Right.
So that's a pretty significant gap. So, but that space is covered by the tabletop extension, and
that was the whole idea.
That was exactly the whole concept. That was the concept. We want to prevent someone from being uncomfortable about going out because they're worried about spilling or dropping food on themselves.
But not only the spilling and the dropping, but the convenience of not having to lean over. For someone who has special needs, and anybody who has special needs, you don't know what their special needs are. They might have trouble moving forward. They might have trouble with their arms. They might have arthritis. They could have a series of ailments that we're not aware of. This tabletop extension allows them to sit back and relax, as opposed to having to lean over and extend their arms when maybe they can't.
Well, so that's why it's not limited to those that are in wheelchairs. It can be an individual with Parkinson's. It could be an individual with tremors or MD, MS. I mean, there's a variety of illnesses that cause issues with the upper body, hands, or arms.
What about kids?
Oh God! And for kids, let's say that you go out to a restaurant and they don't reach with the the booster seat, whatever. They're able to connect the unit to the table. Now that lets the little kid in the booster seat sit closer and have the food right in front of them.
Right. It's amazing. I do want to put up a full screen, and it's called Disability Stat. I want you to take a look at some stats here in terms of disability, and those around the country. About 56.7 million people, that's about 19% of the population. These are rough figures now, have or had some sort of disability. That was in 2010. That's like 6 years ago.
Right.
People with a disability represent more than $200 billion, with a B, dollars in spending around the nation. So you can see, these people do have spending power. And so if you limit that spending power by not, being ADA compliant, then not only are you cheating the individual, but you're cheating your own business to a certain extent.
I'd like to share something real quick.
Yeah, go ahead. We got time.
Okay, look. This sign.
Hold that up there. Yeah.
This sign says accessible. And what that means to an individual in a wheelchair, if this sign were posted at a restaurant, that means welcome. And I'm a member of several different restaurant associations, and the issue is always money. They're not making enough money. They're concerned about costs. The new minimum wage going up to $15. That's an issue for them, and I understand that. The restaurant industry is hard enough as it is, so we don't want to incur any additional costs. But to combat that, they're competing for many times the same customer. So one customer, they'll do advertising or promotion from one restaurant to another, and they're just basically trying to get folks to switch, when there is a marketplace of 54 million people, like you just said, that have $200 billion of spending power that would love to probably come eat at your restaurant.
Yeah, but if you're not ADA compliant, then what's the point? They're going to go somewhere else.
So that's why they need to get in contact with Quality of Life Products so that we can help them get their portable tabletop extensions so that they can be ADA compliant, and so then they can make themselves accessible and have access to the individual's income.
Yeah. All right. Anthony Morrison is here, not the inventor, but the man who's marketing and making a little bit of money on the side with this portable tabletop extension. But that wasn't the point. The point is to help those with disabilities and those with special needs. And it was the idea of his friend, Curtis Austin, and his father. So really, he's following through with a promise. Curtis Austin, of course, passing away. He was one of the inventors, and we're going to tell you again before the show ends where you can call and order your tabletop extension. Sam Suits and Tuxedos out of Clovis is your sponsor today on the program. A taped edition of Connect with Me. Sorry about that. No phone calls on this day. Back in a moment.
There's nothing better than showing up to your next big event in a new suit or tuxedo. Sam's Men's Suits and Tuxedo Shop on Clovis Avenue, just south of Old Town Clovis, has provided a wide selection of custom-tailored fine suits and accessories for over 25 years. Right now, get 2 suits, 2 shirts, 2 ties, and a pair of shoes for only $199. Act now and get a 3rd suit for only $50 more. Stop by or call 559-298-6063 to schedule your fitting today at Sam's Men's Suits and Tuxedo Shop.
When you're looking for Whirlpool innovation and quality, who has the answers, the selection, the price? Ventura TV Appliance. With billions in nationwide appliance buying power, more than Home Depot and Best Buy combined, will help you save. Our low prices on Energy Star qualified Whirlpool appliances save you energy and money, and pay no interest on select models when paid in full within 12 months. Ventura TV Appliance, serving you since 1951.
All right, once again, the telephone number, if you want to order this portable tabletop extension, is area code 919-324-6506. You can call that number. Your insurance company will cover it at no cost to you, but you do have to get a prescription from your physician one way or the other. You can put your order in. They're only $69, but again, Insurance, they will cover it. You won't have to pay a dime, and they're very handy when you go into a restaurant. 3 more photos to show. Anthony Morrison is here, who's marketing the product for his friend Curtis Austin, who is one of the inventors. We'll put up those photos now and put up the first one. And what are we looking at here, Anthony?
You're looking at the products page of the website, or the
accessories.
The accessories of the first website. Actually, we are now just offering the version in black, because it has a 1/4-inch lip on it to prevent anything from being able to spill over. So let's say that someone's having a bowl of hot soup and they happen to spill it. That 1/4-inch lip prevents it from running over and getting on the individual. So the ones in red are no longer available. So we're only offering the ones in black.
Okay.
The little round piece in the middle there is the plate rotator. It is sold for $19.95.
Like a little Lazy Susan.
A little Lazy Susan that you can put your plate on and spin it to the item of food that you want to eat.
That's good.
And that's so that's basically what you have there.
Okay, and go to the next photo if you would. I guess we're looking at some of the products here.
This is on the same products page. I really like to make note of the piece in the middle, the SureFit Food Guard. That is a piece that clamps onto a plate, and so if an individual with limited mobility of their hands, they can push the item they're trying to eat, they can push it up against that little plastic guard and be able to lift it up and scoop it up in their spoon.
Okay.
That's really neat.
All right. It prevents spillage.
It prevents spillage, exactly.
All right. And on the right there is what?
Those are various types of utensils. They're called good grip utensils. Sometimes they may need to be weighted. Some are just they're flexible. So they're designed to work with an individual who may have issues with their hands.
And on the far left?
The far left is just a placemat. So the placemat fits. It's custom made for the tabletop extension. And it just gives a little bit more security to the Lazy Susan. And if you just want it, it's nice. The companies that we worked with oftentimes have their logo put on that placemat.
Okay.
So that's the reason that it's there.
Okay. I don't know how much time we got left in the show here. We got we got time then. What do you hope to accomplish with this? I mean, people at home might look at this and say, look, okay, his friend passed away. Now he's marketing this. He wants to be a millionaire. You want to market this for money. Well, you don't have to market this. You don't have. I mean, I'm sure you're a man who's worked all his life. You're pretty well set. I mean, do you really need the money? So is this going to be a money maker? Answer some of those questions that might be going through the minds of some of our viewers right now. I know they can't call in. It's a tape program, but assume that one might be thinking, this is just a money-making thing for this guy.
Well, you could say that if the product was not practical and did not serve a purpose,
right,
you could possibly say that.
And it's helping people. Yeah.
Kurt's desire was to have it in the hands of anyone that needed it. Again, he was going by way of the restaurant industry. However, I've just chosen that anyone and everyone, wherever they may be, we are on. If you look on our website and you go to our story and our vision, our mission statement says plainly that we want everyone who wants to have it and who needs it to be able to have access to it, and so that they can be free, so they can go anywhere. We want everyone to be able to, especially we were just thinking at the time about being able to go eat at any restaurant. Be able to go to McDonald's or go to Ruth Chris. It doesn't matter. You want to be able to go to any restaurant that you like, sit where you want, so that you feel most comfortable and enjoy a meal. Plain and simple.
And the thing is, none of us know if at all if we're ever going to end up in a wheelchair. You never know. In life, that's how life works. And one day you're walking fine, and the next day, you get into a car wreck, heaven forbid, and you're in a wheelchair. You might need one of these. Or you may be perfectly fine, like you. You might be able to walk and talk and be do everyday activities in a normal way, but you might still want one of these. So the fact of the matter is, you are marketing this to various people who want it, and those people in a wheelchair, you can have one of these at your house.
Correct.
You can purchase a second one. I don't know if insurance will pay for a second one, and then you can carry one in the car for those trips out to the restaurant or out of town.
Well, that's how we're working with the school district, because the school is buying the ones for the school itself, but parents are also buying a second unit so that they can have it for travel. The only thing I'd like to point out is that until you walk today in that person's shoes, you don't know what their life is like.
Exactly.
So if you really wanted to know what it felt like, what a person that's in a wheelchair or a person with special needs has to go through, if you could just experience that for a day, it would be far more than you would ever be able to take, because once you're in a situation like that, you're just removed from so many conveniences that we just able-bodied people just take for granted. Mm-hmm. So if you rode around in a wheelchair for a day, you would have a distinct appreciation for the individual and what their life is like. Then you would understand why I'm doing something like this.
Why are you doing it?
Because I want everybody in the world that wants one to have one, plain and simple. Yes, it will make money for me. I will absolutely admit that. But the bigger picture is, I want the folks it's going to impact the most and if it's going to be a positive change for their life, I'd like to be responsible for that.
Exactly right. So let's put up our disclaimer here, because Anthony Morrison, our friend here, has come in to talk about this product openly and honestly of his own free will. He did not pay us. We did not pay him. He started this business on his own, and every Tuesday we try to help a person who is in business, local business here in the Fresno area. So Anthony Morrison has come in to share his product and his business idea for this. Just like we've been here since 1951, and we've grown and grown and grown thanks to Mark Sheeran, the owner of Ventura TV, and his family who started this business. We try to help other businesses here in the Central Valley and around the Fresno area. So we wish Anthony Morrison the very best of luck here with his product. And again, the telephone number, if you want to call and try to order one of these, is area code 919-324-6506. It really is a product that will come in handy. You don't have to have special needs or be disabled. But if you know of a friend, a relative, if you want to purchase one of these as a gift, whether it be a birthday, the holidays, whatever the case may be, this is a great gift idea. What about giving one of these as a gift? Is it okay, or might you be sending the wrong message to that person, that you might be needing something that, how dare you insult me with that? I don't need that. I can manage fine on my own. You know what I'm saying?
I get it. So I guess the proper time, a great way of delivering it would be to take the individual out to a restaurant and let them sit at a table they would normally sit at and not be able to get under, or not be able to have complete access and still have the gap. And then once they realize they have the gap, say, I have a gift for you. Pull this out and then connect it. At that point, the person will see the value of it, and there will be a big smile and a big thank you.
Be a great way to go out to a birthday dinner to any local restaurant and then spring this on them.
Oh, well, which is what we're encouraging restaurants to do. Imagine having a party of 10 people in wheelchairs come to your restaurant for a birthday party, and you're actually able to accommodate them. What would that mean to you, Mr. Restaurant Owner? So that's the message that we want to try to get over.
Are restaurants biting with this?
It's interesting. Actually, this is kind of disappointing, because I've actually had a couple of restaurants give the impression that they didn't want a person that was disabled sitting next to a person that was able-bodied, because it would have something to do with the experience for the able-bodied person, and that was kind of heartbreaking to hear that.
Yeah, that kind of attitude doesn't surprise me. I have a daughter who's partially disabled, who has partial special needs, physical needs. It has nothing to do with mental. It's all physical. So I know. It doesn't surprise me though. 436 MeTV option 11. If you want to leave a message or a comment about this product, if you listen, let me just say this: if you want to call in and leave that message, and then you want us to get back to you because you don't know how to get a hold of Anthony, you don't know how to order the product, we've given the phone number out numerous times. please leave a message for us, email us, and we'll get you the right information. In the meantime, Sam's Suits and Tuxedos are sponsored today on this special taped edition of Connect with Me. Back in a moment.
There's nothing better than showing up to your next big event in a new suit or tuxedo. Sam's Men's Suits and Tuxedo Shop on Clovis Avenue, just south of Old Town Clovis, has provided a wide selection of custom-tailored fine suits and accessories for over 25 years. Right now, get 2 suits, 2 shirts, 2 ties, and a pair of shoes for only $199. Act now and get a 3rd suit for only $50 more. Stop by or call 559-298-6063 to schedule your fitting today at Sam's Men's Suits and Tuxedo Shop.
Giddy up with westerns, we've got the best ones. Superhero, sci-fi, spin, grab the popcorn and stay in. Dramas, mystery, and action, take a look and see what happens. Carol, Andy, Lucy, MASH, timeless comedies full of laughs.
Hey, that's me.
That's me. That's me, Chief.
Yeah, me, you gotta see. That's memorable, that's me. Me TV.
Back here with Anthony Morrison. He is marketing this product called the portable tabletop extension. You can take it anywhere around the world. Hey, what about this? Hold that thing up one more time there so people can see that. And you can, yeah, look at that. You can take that on the airplane with you if you wanted, huh?
I suppose. I think it'd be kind of cramped, but you know.
Yeah, you might be kind of cramped because that you know when you pull the table down from the back of the seat on the airplane, I think that kind of comes very close to your stomach. That's about
as close to this as you'll ever get. It's something like that because of that cramped space. When they pull that table down from the back of the seat, that table pretty much covers your lap. But that is about as close to something like this as you'll get.
I wonder if you could take this on like a Greyhound bus or Amtrak or, you know, in a car. I guess you can use this in a car some way. Have you thought about maybe designing something where a disabled or a special needs person sitting in the passenger seat of a van or a car could use one of these?
You know, to be honest with you, it's been a job just getting it as far and keeping up with what we
marketing
have to do
you're
so
talking
far.
about.
Yes, it's been a job, so I haven't had the opportunity.
But have you thought of it? I just gave you another idea.
Well, I haven't. I'm hopefully someday we'll have a research and development department, but at this moment we are got our
something that
fire.
Attaches to the dashboard, and while they're sitting there as a passenger, and a relative is driving, they can eat their snack or whatever they want to eat.
I've had
good idea, huh?
I've had, and you want your 10%.
No, that's okay. You can donate it to charity.
But we've had some folks come up with after they do the why didn't I think of that. Then everyone has something to offer. Well, you could do this, you could do that, or you could do the other.
I'm just trying to help.
And I appreciate it. And I'll put that on the list with everyone else. But right now we're just worried, just trying to get these on the market and get them in the hands of everyone.
Why is it so hard to market these to restaurant owners? I mean, you'd think this would be a perfect fit for them. They could order 20 or 30 of these.
But they just, I can imagine how hard it was to get them to sell or to get them to buy booster seats and high chairs at some point. I don't know. It doesn't make sense. And here's really one of the really interesting things. There is an IRS tax credit of 50% to anyone that buys, let's say that buys this product and spends over $500. The government is going to give you $250 of that right back in a tax credit.
So why aren't restaurants biting? I've asked that question a couple of times now. I don't know why more restaurants are not biting at this. I think I only have a minute left, so I better get the phone number out there one more time. If you're a restaurant owner, you got to listen to this. It's area code 919-324-6506. And I'll give that one more time if you haven't gotten your piece of paper yet. Area code 919-324-6506. It's for those who have a disability and need to improve the quality of their life. Anthony Morrison, good to see you, my friend.
Thank you, sir.
You come back anytime.
I would appreciate it.
All right.
Thank you.
The portable tabletop extension. That's going to do it for this edition of Connect with Me, a taped edition. Sorry that we had no phone calls, but our thanks to our sponsors, Sam Suits and Tuxedos out of Clovis. See you next time on Connect with Me on Me TV Fresno.